Hello friends! Today I'm going to show you this Auto ABC Mini IA box. Welcome to this new video. Auto ABC sent me this mini AI box in order to show it on my channel, but as always I give you my honest opinion. We start with unboxing, we do the installation in the car, and I will do some testing. Followers of my channel know that I already tested some other Carplay wireless devices, which are almost always dongles that make your wired CarPlays wireless. But this device does something more. It has an own Android operating system, which makes that you can also install other applications directly on the device, and you can even watch YouTube and Netflix. It supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and you can switch between the three operating systems with just one click on a button. So about those video play, I'm not sure how that will work out on the Nissan Qashqai Connect system with a really low resolution, but let's try it out. It's quick connect and plug and play. So I have to say I'd experienced some issues with other dongles, but that is almost always due to the Connect system itself that doesn't see the dongle right away, and when you replug it, it starts up as it should. So more a Connect issue rather than an issue of the dongles. So let's see how this one performs with the Connect system. Now in the box we have the user manual. It clearly explained all the functions. So you have this speed play button, which you can change between the modes, so the Android option or the CarPlay or Android Auto. But it also should remember the state you are in when you turn off the car. So if you are already in the CarPlay menu and you have CarPlay Auto on, well, then it should reuse CarPlay the next time when you start the car. So then we have the AI box itself. Small, really flat. This part should be the heat dispenser. And then further in the box, we have two cables, and that's one with USB-C and one with USB-A. So of course this is the cable that plugs into your USB port of the car's CarPlay. So on the Nissan Qashqai, my USB CarPlay port is a USB-A cable, so I will use this one. Now this box comes at 74.95 euros. So remember, it is only for those who already have wired CarPlay. It doesn't give CarPlay if you don't have CarPlay already from factory. But if you have a wired CarPlay, this will make your CarPlay wireless. So when you get in the car, your phone connects automatically with the dongle. And all CarPlay features from factory are preserved. And as I said, you can install other Android apps as well, but I advise you to do it with moderation. The more apps you install, the slower the device will be. So you can see the USB port. Here are the LED lights for the operation, but it also has a TF card slot. So you can add external memory up to 256 gigabytes. Now the Magic Box has a Qualcomm chip with 4 cores and 64-bit, Bluetooth 5.0, and then Wi-Fi 5 gigahertz as well. It uses Android 11 as operating system, and it has YouTube and Netflix already installed on it. The internal memory is 2 gigabytes RAM and 16 gigabytes ROM. So now let's go to the car and install it. Now before starting the installation in the car, let's first remove the existing dongle. So that's this one. And then they also advise to remove the older device if you had one from your Bluetooth settings, so there isn't any confusion in the connections. They also speak to disable existing Wi-Fi signal. So if you have a dash cam, as I have, they advise to disable the Wi-Fi hotspot of your dash cam. So now let's start the car right now. Plug in the cable. And now we can plug the cable into the Qashqai's USB Carplay port. And here you can see that I already have my Carplay logo on. Now here you see the operating system of the Magic AI box itself. So even without the telephone connected, you already have some applications, your YouTube and your Netflix and the Play Store. Now please connect to the AI box. So let's do so. Disable and enable to search for new devices, and there's the AI box. Connect, accept. And now my iPhone is connected. So we go back to the screen and we choose Sweet Play. Use CarPlay. And there I have my CarPlay. So I have to say that my resolution is already, from what I feel, a little bit different, better than I'm used to. The apps are a little bit bigger. Now that's the way we can go back to the Android operation system. And if I click again, I'm going to my CarPlay. And that's the way I go back to my normal menu. Now in order to use things like YouTube and Netflix, of course you have to activate your hotspot. Go to settings, Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi on, connect to my iPhone. So now it's connected to my iPhone as well with internet, and this way we can go back to the applications and let's see how things like YouTube perform. since I did my Qashqai. Welcome to this new video. So let's start here on the front of the car. You can see here I have full LED Qashqai. So on this version I didn't change the... Now that's really way better than I had expected or hoped. Now let's try Netflix.
When they do, they're able to gather the concentrated shoals with ease. It was only in the 50s that large fleets first ventured fossils. It's a creature called an ammonite, and in life, the animal itself lived in a chamber here and spread out its tentacles to catch its prey. Even though it is longer than 1.5 meters and weighs more than 200 kilograms, it manages to daintily float through the water.
Now I'm really amazed that this quality is super cool. I'm in the Apple Carplay menu right now, so this is familiar for those who already know Apple Carplay. So I have my applications here. You can see it is really fluid. You can see here on top I have this floating button. That's something that you don't have with the original CarPlay, and it is to return back to your Android menu. So you can see these options. I can go to the car and I go directly back to the original Connect menu. I can go back to CarPlay as well, and if I go back to my Android menu, I can go to Home, and then I come in this all new Android menu. For those who are familiar with Android, this shouldn't be nothing new. Here you can see again that I have my car button, so to return back to the original Connect menu. I can go to the Play Store and download other applications if I want to. I have my settings button right here, so I can see if I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. So the Wi-Fi is off right now. Let's set it to on. Let's see if it sees my home network. It does. And you can see it's connected right now. So otherwise, in the settings, it are my network settings. I can change my language. I have my Bluetooth settings. Date and time. Application info. So again, for those who already have an Android telephone, this should be nothing new and more. You can change your wallpaper if you want, for instance. I can enable or disable the floating button and activate the cursor operation, and I can go to the vehicle settings. So here's your video definition. I didn't touch this is already out of the box like this. Now we go back to the applications itself. You can see that I have my speed play button, and speed play is the button to switch back to the original Apple CarPlay or Android Car, depending on the telephone that you have. I have my telephone connected to it and my wife's telephone, and it recognizes automatically the last telephone that was connected to the system. So on starting up, it should pop up directly to CarPlay, but sometimes it connects first to my Android system, and therefore I set it another option as well. Now here I set auto connect, so it should directly connect my telephone to the system. Down here you go to other settings and you can choose a boot up app. So this is interesting because when you pick the speed play as boot up app, if the CarPlay isn't showed automatically and it boots first into the Android system, it will boot after that again to the speed play, and you will see your CarPlay anyway. So it's like a fallback solution. And there you go. Now, whenever you're connected to your internet, so that can be your internet when you're at home or when you're driving, that can be your hotspot on your telephone, then you can use the Play Store as well to install other applications if you want to. Of course, you have to use a Google account to sign in. You can use YouTube, and I have to say I'm really amazed about the quality of the definition of this Connect display. I didn't thought it would be that great. So let's listen to DJ Nina Black.
I just can't refuse
then Netflix as well.
This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Fresh details of a Europe in turmoil.
This is the BBC at home service.
Upon this battle depends the survival of civilization.
Peace or war is now.
It's a really cool feature to have in your car as well. But of course, the most used option will be your CarPlay, and thanks to the speed play button it is accessible all the time. So I'm using the system now for a couple of weeks. I have to say it is really reliable. It always is recognized by the Connect system that I can't say for the other devices I use already. Sometimes I had to plug and unplug the system. Here it isn't the case. I only had to reconnect my telephone to the Bluetooth once, and that is easily done. I can show it by disabling my Wi-Fi and my Bluetooth. And then you can see you have directly this screen where it asks you to connect to the Bluetooth. So therefore I will reactivate my Bluetooth again, go to my Bluetooth menu, connect, and you see it is already connecting. Now this Magic AI box works really fine, but I noticed that from time to time it suddenly reboots without any reason. The rebooting is really quick, so only for 2 or 3 seconds you lose your ways or whatever you're doing. And if you're listening to music, you have to reset your music as well. It's a little bit annoying. I contacted the seller about this problem and he noticed that I have a Nissan, and apparently the CarPlay USB port on Nissans isn't providing enough power for the Magic AI box, and therefore he advised me to use a Y cable, and that looks like this. And with this Y cable I can wire the Magic AI box to this female connector. I put this blue male USB connector in the CarPlay port of the car, and I put this second USB port in a second USB port for the car, so it has 2 power sources and 1 for the data connection as well. Now I only have 1 USB port for the CarPlay, of course, but with this cigarette lighter adapter I have a second USB port available as well. So let's wire this up right now. And there you go, it is all set up. So overall I think it's a really great solution. Don't forget, if you have a Nissan, that you have to buy this Y cable as well to be sure that it doesn't reboot from time to time. But this said, it is really one of the most reliable wireless CarPlay solution that I've tried so far. Some other devices will have some connection problems from time to time and the car doesn't recognize the dongle. This never happened with this device to me for now. So my overall conclusion is it is a really nice solution for wireless CarPlay. It is so cool to have Netflix and YouTube in your original CarPlay system. So I could really advise this Magic AI box. So please check the video description for a link to the Magic AI box and for the Y cable. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what you think about this solution. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I see you in the very next video. Bye bye.